what you mean? But that's what I'm like, so Sauce, what you got some?
She got something to help you out.
That's what I'm like, you got some credit scam shit?
Yeah, the dude that ended up playing her husband is from Sri Lanka. So they really weren't joking about
definitely.
We'll take somebody.
Yeah. Did that make you feel better?
But his name is Bernard White, so that threw me because I was like, "The fuck is Bernard White?"
That means you wasn't gonna get the phone interview, month.
You got a call back, but let's be honest. Yeah, I keep telling my manager like, "Yo, use my real name." She was like, "You think Arif Shahid's gonna help you better than Felonious Monk?" And I was like, "You're not wrong, ma'am. You are fucking. You're good at what you do." You are good at what you do. This is Bernard White. Does that look like a guy named Bernard White? No, that's not it. He's a beautiful man.
Looks like a cross between Chris Bader and...
He does look... Oh, shit. That did look very Badery
just that one photo. That second photo.
Yeah, that's very
much more
Badery.
chiseled. That looks a little cross Bader. And then I was going to reference
the now he's
show
old.
that nobody in here watches.
Somehow.
Oh, yeah. He's old. Hold on.
We've
so
been
that's...
audio for about 10 minutes, but we just started rolling video.
That's
good. You ready?
You guys have some pretty good content audio.
Sweet.
I can only imagine.
Oh, he's done some work with the Goodman Theater. Huh.
Oh,
that's
nice.
where that picture came from. That's a Goodman Theater headshot. Yeah, from the Goodman. Oh, you didn't see the picture because it switched over before I did that.
That's a theater headshot if I've ever seen one.
Right.
Wow. It's a lot of emotion in one photo. I gotta give him credit for that.
Is my Othello eyes.
I don't really know which.
That's funny as hell.
That's a lot.
In defense of your Othello eyes, they do take pictures like
y'all
ever seen
like they're in the middle of a scene. Like the fuck is that?
They look like the soap operas when soap operas used to come on fucking midnight.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Dun 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 dun.
Which one was that?
Young and the Restless. I know how to play that shit on the piano. That's how.
For real?
Yes. Dun 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 dun.
Why do you know how to play the piano? And I'm just learning this.
I don't know how to play the piano. I know how to play that on the piano.
You know how to play the piano?
I do know how to play the piano.
I gotta be one.
But only a couple things now. Yeah.
Right.
I can't read anymore. But you keep the things, like I can do Ukrainian bell carol.
I never ate that.
I can do. I retaught myself. I retaught myself some Coldplay in college, as every white person did. Yeah.
We gotta talk.
But what a perfect musical prelude lead
Taught myself Paramore when I was in prison.
Whenever he do this, I'm
Paramore in prison.
Yes.
This character is Monkman. Every time he do this Batman
Kyrie, quick question for you.
Monkman, the sequel to Monkey Man.
Quick question for you, Kyrie.
He beats the shit out of people who park in spaces too long.
When you had the diabetes, did you?
That's such a what I was doing yesterday.
When you had the diabetes, were you very upset that Ozempic was being used for bullshit? That's what my career is about: stopping the Ozempic from being used by people who don't need it, and instead making sure that my diabetic friends get it. So I am Monkman.
So you like a fat ally that go around beating up Drake?
A fella. Yeah. Fuck your etched abs, you motherfucker. I hate you.
That's
me and
crazy.
Kendrick work together. He's my Robin, but he plays the front. You know what I mean? Yeah.
A man for the pudgy people.
A man for the pudges. Jesus.
Can we say pudgy?
I
feel
don't
like that's
think
even more
we-
insulting
That is
than
kinda
fat
crazy.
somehow.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it feels like you're saying it's like a softer version, but then you like, I don't think that's my word.
You're pudgy.
I think
sorry.
when healthy people,
Husky is appropriate.
I think what you can't say is like you can't talk about big people like Trump talking about black people. If you be like the fats are here, we'd be like, whoa, what the fuck? Hold the fuck.
I'm gonna be honest with
I
you.
kinda
I don't
like
know if
fats.
you're big enough to say that.
They say that, but I just saw myself do a 360 in this audition, Monk, and I wasn't happy.
True story. When they say the camera adds 10 pounds,
Yeah.
I've been in the mirror and I've been on camera, and I promise you, first of all, we're sitting together right now. I don't look big. I look healthy. Sure, you look like you maybe have exercised this year, but I promise you, on camera, I look jacked. On camera, not on pictures. On camera, I filmed some things this year, and when I see it, I'm like, I ain't in there. I'm on the shoulder. Look at his shoulders out there, shoulders bigger than big, and then I go home and look in the mirror, and I'm like, fucking cameras. You know what I mean? It's fucking Hollywood's bullshit. But that's when it got me. I had gone to some Hollywood events and some Hollywood parties, No, none of those. No freak offs. But
I did not say it.
I know,
I
but
was letting you.
Say we got to get into our episode.
The wheels
but
were
we're
turning.
getting there.
The wheels were
know
turning.
it's
I think we're meandering.
It's been a long walk.
If
but
we're being
gonna end up
honest,
where we need to end up.
The kids need to go home now. It's time to start the discussion.
Same destination.
That's
I was going to
crazy.
start us
That's
with a
the same
check-in.
thing he
but
said.
That's where it came from. But that's the wild part. You go to these Hollywood parties, and the guys that look big on camera are not their regular size people. They're fit. They're fit, but they're not huge. Like I've seen roles. Tone Bell's the homie. Good dude, very funny, very successful in Hollywood. It seems like no year goes by where he doesn't get a project or two. Well deserved. He's good at his job. I saw him on Disjointed, and I remember going, "Yo, you been lifting?" He was like, "Nah, why?" I was like, "You look jacked in the Disjointed." And I saw him like right after they filmed it, and I was like, "Oh, you the same fucking size? What the fuck?" It's the way I don't know what the situation is with cameras, but they make you look buff.
Yeah.
Unless you're a lady, then you just look. I don't know what the
Pudgy.
Pudgy is what we're going to say.
Pudgy is the
I
word.
can't believe you're bringing Pudgy back.
10 pounds bigger, 10
I'm
pounds
bringing
bigger, and 10
Pudgy
years
back.
older, too.
Yeah.
I don't think that
Them
was.
other boys don't know how to snack. Yeah.
Well. I didn't think we could close
Welcome
it off, but we
to
did.
another episode of Kyrie Should Be Beyond Bars. I'm one of your hosts, Felonious Monk. The one snorting is
Kyrie the Comet.
and the one who's supposed to keep us in shape.
And is doing a pretty bad job of it today. My name is Catherine Gongor. I also don't love that. I don't love that designation at the top. The white
You're
woman
not
keeping
into managing us,
but
eh?
I do. I have
just saying you kinda,
prepared
like,
more
oversee
structure for our
what we do.
episode.
Oh!
No, come on.
We're not saying you like a. You're not saying you like you like boss us around and
No,
crack
I'm
whips
just saying,
or
but
nothing.
sometimes like you police when we get out of line.
All right. Why don't you talk about whatever the fuck you want to talk about today? Why don't you guys just?
Because this is some bullshit. Wow. Wow.
We just fucking.
I did deserve it. I did deserve it.
They were right there. That's, all right.
I did deserve. I've been teeing you up all day. I told you your new profile picture looked like the next CEO to step down.
Wow.
I have
That was
been
actually
on
really
you.
good. That
Thank
was
you.
really
I
good.
thought so, but I did deserve what I.
Let's
received.
make sure that we include that in the episode. Like we have to put that picture up when we do the video.
Yeah.
No, I don't dislike the picture, but I do think that was a really good shot. Like sometimes you got to be like, there's nothing wrong with this picture. However,
it's crazy.
Wow.
Someone was gonna say, okay, let's do. I did create some structure for the episode because I think that we need it, myself included. We get tangential, and I like to take the walk, but. I think, have we covered it? How are you guys? Let's do a little check-in. How is everybody? Okay, let's get right to Diddy.
I'm
Your
good.
icebreaker.
I'm good. Nah, man, don't be like that, man. We gotta let the people know they ain't seen us in a while.
Yeah.
Be like that.
True.
Well, first of all, I do think what we owe is Felonious a proper welcome. We kind of shot a couple summer episodes that we referred to as the dog days of summer episodes because we didn't really know when they were going to come out. We've been working on some funding. We are still working on some funding. And we decided we need to keep rolling. We need to address some things that are in the news. We need to, have these conversations, or we, at least three, think we need to. We're not sure if anyone else thinks that we need to yet, but some of y'all are coming along slowly. What was the point of
You asked how
saying
we were
that?
doing,
And then we kind of like casually reintroduced Felonious as our third host. But I feel like you deserve some kind of more proper welcome. Y'all, please welcome permanently, henceforth, into perpetuity, the one and only Felonious Monk.
If there were another, rest in peace, Sean Price, the only other person who's ever used that name that I didn't get mad about.
Okay. That's deep.
Anybody else
I
does
have
it
nothing
though.
to say.
I like to fight. I don't do all of the cameras. I want y'all to see.
He be in
that
Harlem, so I believe him.
shit. Dipset.
Felonious Monk was
good.
one of our
I'm
most
good.
popular.
I've
I
been-
was just checking the stats, just so you know, one of our most popular on Spotify, second or third most popular on YouTube. So the dynamic we hope that y'all enjoy is here to stay. We will continue to have guests, but we are still going to do some of these one-off episodes where we just shoot the shit and talk about some of the things that are in the news while we, again, work on sponsorship and funding and making sure that we can compensate our guests as we do. So check-in wise. Yeah, I thought we put some structure to that, and then we'll hit some of the headlines and go from there. Welcome, Felonious. How are you today?
You've been touching road, brother.
Good, man.
Yeah, you've been on the road.
I've been on the road. I have a good run on the road too. Congratulations to Roy Wood Jr. on his new show on CNN, and also on his new special that's about to come out on Hulu. Please go check it out. I got to tour with him for a while and watch him tighten up his hour. So I did Louisville, Nashville, Lexington, Columbus, Ohio, Peoria, Illinois twice, because I actually went back and headlined Peoria myself. Then I did Cincinnati, Ohio. All of that's pretty much been in the last 5 weeks. So I've driven all across this great country of ours, and mostly in the middle of it. And let me tell you, people like to laugh.
Yeah,
they like
People in the middle of the country do like to laugh.
They do.
I know,
It's a blessing.
saying
They need
not
to.
much going on, but yeah.
That's pretty much why. It's not a lot of other stuff.
But I also think they enjoy when someone like you comes in and is doing comedy that's not just like pandering, and it's not just like I hate my fucking wife, but it's also not like I hate y'all too, because you
Right.
don't understand Chicago,
Yeah.
because you haven't like seen our politics. Like if you can
That's a
kind
good
of
point.
shoot that gap and fill the hole for laughter, which makes people be able to laugh at themselves without feeling like you're laughing at them exclusively.
I feel
anyway.
so bad about
I
that
think
overseer
people-
comment now. That was one of the nicest things that anyone's ever said to me, and I just called you a police officer overseer, and that's
Good apple. It's okay.
you're one of the good ones.
That will be, if that is ever clipped out, it will be very misleading. It will be very misleading for many people.
Every time I ever ragged on Catherine, it never make the clips. God damn it! You gonna learn today, Monk. Your shits will never see the light of day.
Well, when you cut a clip, one of those will be posted.
Oh, whoa! Well, if you wanted a clip posted, perhaps you would cut a clip, you mother. All right.
I'm just kidding. We'll come back to that. Another offline.
I had a great time though. I had a really good time, and you know, we talked on the episode that I was on. Actually, we talked about how non-linear comedy is, and this was, I'm currently in a time where it feels like comedy is moving up, and that's a good feeling. Like, and I'm saying all of that as I go into 2 cities that I've never headlined before. I got Philly coming up, and I've got Tacoma, Washington, which is just outside of Seattle. So
SeaTac, the whole SeaTac. Come on
I
out.
don't know what that means.
That's so
Seattle, Tacoma.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
yeah. I heard.
Tacoma's so close. Yeah.
Doesn't Tacoma have like a
Hoopers.
I think it has its own club.
does it have like a smell like the Tacoma?
Oh, I
aroma?
thought you were saying cocaine. I was like, do they have
Oh,
cocaine?
that's a
I'm
good.
sure
Yeah,
they
no,
do.
that's
Okay.
That's not what I meant. If my parole officer is watching,
Oh yeah.
I'm not on paper.
She
anymore.
is.
I'm
She's
just
very.
talking
Oh, good for you, bro.
Yeah, I'm off of if you do. Tooted for booted. No, yeah, I'm doing Tacoma. I'm doing the Tacoma Comedy Club in December 3rd, and I'm doing Punchline Philly, October 3rd. So I'm saying it looks like it's going up. Let's have this discussion again after December 3rd, and let's see if I'm still as excited as I was today.
We'll take it for today. Kyrie, as much as I obviously give you shit, I'm prepared to give you your flowers if you're not over your last, I don't know, couple weeks in comedy and in life. How are you?
I appreciate you. Monk talked about just the ups and downs, man. I am just in a weird space where I am having a lot of ups.
That's a great space. No,
It is, man, but I don't want to be like one of those weirdos that have like not out of body, like it's like imposter syndrome almost, because like I was doing a dear friend's benefit by the name of Miss Borky, and the host was killing. I believe it was Emma, and she had the fucking just the fucking heart to say I was one of the best stand-ups in Chicago, and I almost teared up.
why didn't you?
Whoa, because I was finna go on
Borky
stage.
just vouched for that in the back, by the way. She is in the room.
But but also I had a friend from LA there in the crowd who like wrote on the BET Awards, super dope guy. Shout out to Jay Snow. But I went up there and I killed it. And afterwards we was chopping. He's like, "Hey bro, you crushed that shit." And it was like, it felt really good to be able to hold it down in front of people from Compton. You know what I mean? To like
Shout
hold
out
down.
to Jay Snow too.
Shout out
really
to my
good
boy,
dude,
Jay Snow.
very successful, fantastic writer. Jay Snow.
Amazing, right? When I tell you he came through Ask a Comedian, he did so well. Other comedians were literally like, fuck.
I don't really want to go up now, this motherfucker here.
They was like, yo, what you say he be writing on? What the fuck is this?
Everything. Like if you've seen an award show in the last couple of years, Jay Snow wrote on it. Shout out to my girl Sheeds, Chicago,
Yes.
holding it down. She always on the team too.
She's was the person that told me to take comedy serious. That's my girl forever and always. And she was like, don't stop doing stupid shit. Get out the streets and go take comedy serious. And my life been different ever since.
Oh man, shout out to Sheeds.
Shout out to She's love her a million
Passing the
times.
love.
Real shit. But yeah, how are you doing, birthday girl?
I did have a birthday.
You had a birthday.
Yes.
You
I
did too since the
did.
last taping. You're
No, did I? Since the
Yes.
last time? It's been a month since we taped.
Yes.
Maybe.
I don't like
Maybe.
that.
Because we
taped.
taped. Remember, we recorded and you invited me
Yeah.
to do Ask a Comedian.
Dude, it was that long
and
ago.
we haven't done one since we did Ask a Comedian.
Oh
We
my
roasted the
God.
shit out of you. You know we would have talked about
Yeah.
the roast.
Thank
if we had
God.
done it.
I'm
Yeah.
so glad we didn't do one.
No, it was
Monk
fun.
came on my birthday and roasted the fuck out of
Yeah,
me.
but it was your
Yeah.
birthday roast. It's not your birthday anymore. These is new. We not. That's
That
the
was crazy.
old shit. Stop bringing up old shit.
Catherine's
it's Catherine's birthday now.
Yes. Jesus.
Let's bring up new shit.
No, we acknowledge all, you guys are both summer, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Summer, and yeah, that makes sense. We're all on the vibe. Yes, I did. I had birthday this weekend. Kyrie was on the show that I co-headline, closed out at the Den,
Ooh.
and it was fun. We weren't really sure how it was going to go. Didn't do like a ton of crazy promotion, and just kind of like threw some new material together, and we're really honest about that. And I think it went pretty well. It went pretty well.
You had a good time?
Yeah,
Oh,
I had a
I
good
had fun.
time.
That's
I had a great
that's
weekend.
pretty
Kyrie and
well.
our people stayed after. Would have obviously told you as well, but I know you were in Peoria. We took a look at that, but
Yeah,
we
no,
went out for a
it's-
little bit, had a little fun.
I was sad to miss it, honestly. I was really rushing to get back because Arsenal played Man City Sunday, and they did the Premier League mornings downtown in the Lincoln Zoo area. So I was going to be back early anyway. I almost canceled my shows because of that. And then I was like, nah, I'm going to do the show. And then you were like, hey, da-da-da-da. I was like, fuck. It's another reason for me to have not done this weekend.
That's
Well,
hilarious.
I'm sure.
I'm serious. I like literally was like, damn, there's a
No,
lot of
I
shit
know you
going
did
on.
it. I know you did
We'll
it.
all celebrate all this. We haven't had like a beer or whatever, a smoke, if you will. Ooh, a smoke. God, I really am a cop. Oh my God. We haven't had a moment to celebrate with any kind of coffee or acknowledgement, three of us. So we'll do that.
Oh, I should get some coffee, too.
Sure, let's do that thing.
Order a coffee.
Good. Well, I'm glad we're good. We'll talk about like what we're promoting and stuff at the end too. But out of
All the
respect
things.
of Porky and everyone here at Lodge, let's
I
move
love her so
through some headlines. I mean, last time we were here even a month ago, and I think even a month before that. I mean, we've been talking Diddy for a while. I would say, or no Diddy rather, but updates to Diddy as of this week are, and you know this will drop I'd say early next week, but Meek Mill offered $100K.
Oh my
to
God! Why did you start
anyone
with that damn point?
that could-
Well, you are going to Philly, so
I
maybe you can go and collect the $100K.
I don't. Well,
If you show-
I mean, you guys tell me. Like, I felt like that. I mean, I know people have been throwing his name around, but is he going to be the first of people to do that? To be like, prove it, like prove my associate. He's not going to be the only name
Well,
that's
look, I'm
coming
gonna be
out.
honest with you. I read the documents. Y'all know I'm a weirdo.
Yeah,
and I
that's
stay
why
up.
I
That's
wanted.
not
I was
weird.
trying to bring
So
up
I was
that
gonna actually
minutia. I
bring
know
it
you
up
are.
actually. So the reason I want you to go collect your $100K is because if you go into the court documents, he's not named by name for the sake of protection of victims, right? Because at some point
Okay.
he was a victim. But what he is described as is the Philly rapper that dated Nicki Minaj. Now, I'm not here to say that it is Meek Mill, but I do not know another Philly rapper that dated Nicki
Yo,
Minaj.
what's the other kid with the that got in a car accident, son?
Oh, you talking about Meek Mill?
Nah, the other one that was locked up, and remember he got out and the parole was revoked for some bullshit. What's his name?
Oh, I think Meek Mill.
Yeah, fuck out of here, man. You did that shit.
Talking about $100K.
Fuck out of here. That's why he said it. He was like, my bad. I kept the money because I could prove it.
Brother, if-
Fucking weirdo. Stop.
Look, I get you can't read the documents, but you got to read the room. God,
I think that's the part that's the most disgusting about it, right? Is that no matter what Diddy has done historically, and we all know historically he's done a bunch of shit, this is now become an issue because men were involved. Because even when Cassie was saying it, there were a bunch of men in and around hip hop who were like, she just wants money. Why are they talking about it now? She didn't care then. But once it got out that they were like, yeah, you know, maybe he did Meek Mill, maybe Justin Bieber, maybe Usher. Yo, did he need to ride? Did he need to go to jail? And it's like,
you can call me a police officer all you want as long as you make that point. Again, thank you for saying that. So I think
that's a big deal. And so this isn't a hip hop reckoning. My boy Mouse Jones, shout out to my nephew. Mouse Jones was just making this point. He was like, you know, people are talking about separate the art from the artist. Fuck separating the art from the artist. The art comes from the artist. There's no way to do that. I want to separate the crime from the art form. That's what he told me. And so to suggest that this is a hip hop crime when this is happening in movies, music, and every other job. I know enough people who this happened to them down at their job at the fucking bank or the call center or whatever. Let's not make this about hip hop or about music industry or the entertainment industry, because yes, there are powerful men who take advantage of it in this industry. There's a fucking assistant manager down at your job who's also being a piece of shit to the secretary, and she needs the job because she's got a kid or she's trying to finish school or she's got fucking bills or she's scared of them. Whatever the reason is, the issue here is people in power, predominantly men, using that power to take advantage of their employees. And you can call this whatever you want. Well, they were just freak offs. Sure. Then why was he filming them and using this for blackmail? If it's just freak off and everything's consensual, then what the fuck are you blackmailing? And by the way, if we're all acknowledging that people didn't say anything up until now because he had these videos, then we're all acknowledging that he's committed a crime. We're acknowledging that that at least blackmail exists, right?
I ain't gonna lie to you, Monk. Anybody that wants to argue on behalf of freak offs, I welcome you to come and argue with me about why it's okay.
Listen, I don't yuck anybody's yum.
That's a hell of a yum.
But if you're having a consensual freak off, who is me to judge?
So
I know that I don't have that type of stamina. I need an IV 24 hours later stamina to do anything. I love soccer. I can't do that. If you said, hey, if you do stand-up for 24 hours, I give you $1 million, I'd be like, damn, I wish I could earn that million another way. I love stand-up almost as much as I love anything on earth. And I'm saying almost because I still have, you know, a family. And
I'm still married.
Sorry, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want my son to be like, damn, daddy, you love that shit more than me? No. They said I had to watch you for 24 hours. I could get that million. But you feel what I'm saying? Like, to do anything for so long that you need an IV?
Look,
anything.
The thing is,
I enjoy the sexes.
I don't appreciate it being reduced to freak offs, right?
That's my problem.
I ain't nothing wrong with getting freaky every once in a while. There is a problem with rape. There is a problem with blackmail. There is a problem with extortion. There is a problem with coercion. There's a problem with being a sleazeball that has killed multiple people. Look, I'm not even here to get into all that. The allegations are a lot more severe than I think the average person is even able to. Like, for example, the young lady that came out today, I don't even know what today is. We had to have, it's Tuesday what?
Today is Tuesday, September 23rd.
This will come out next 24th? Tuesday.
So the young lady that came out today about her assault of Diddy, because the lady just came out today about one, and it goes all the way back to 2001.
Oh, I saw the 2013 one.
The term that was used that triggered me, because I read all of these weird things, but I didn't even listen to her statement. I read it. Snuff. If Diddy is selling snuff, I will run my fade with Diddy. And for the friends watching that don't understand, snuff is the type of disgusting porn where a person is killed typically at the end of it. Because, correction, either inebriated off alcohol or inebriated off of drugs to the point of passing out and or raped and killed at the end of it.
Right.
So snuff porn is mad wild.
Yes.
And if he's making millions off of that, we have deeper questions to ask and answer as a society. I don't give a fuck about your pop star. How is this able to happen, but I can't sell a nickel bag of weed in certain states? We got to have real fucking talks.
Well, I mean, that's there is a degree of this. It's something I want to kind of talk about in general, which is like our association and our like vehemence against sexual assault and sexual offenders, especially in jail, and as it pertains to like who's worse and who is the most criminal type of offender and who's like the outcast and who's going to also get theirs like when they are incarcerated or when they're held in custody.
That's tough. That's
Contrasted with the fact that Instagram's algorithm is based on porn. Right, it's based on your if you post a selfie, if you post like for women especially, like you post your body, you post your face, that triggers the algorithmic numbers. That's why they're having to limit now accounts to 16-year-olds being private. They're doing all this stuff as late as possible because they know that the algorithm is based on porn. They know what the attraction is of people to this algorithm too. I mean, they're feeding it, but can we blame it all on them? Is it a social thing too? It's all. I mean, it's all of that. Tumblr was a porn site before it became Tumblr. Like
all of them.
We as a society have a lot of perversion, and I don't know if it's like a talk about it thing. I'm not really like making a point here, other than what humanity is Diddy owed at this point. I think is a question for me, and also like in general, what are sex offenders owed in terms of humanity in jail?
So I think I may be uniquely positioned to kind of answer this question because I was thinking about this. I'm working on a bit of where I'm talking more about my history with drug use and drug selling. And the joke was always that I was a kind drug dealer, right? Like I had rules. There were people I wouldn't sell to. I actually was on time. If I was like, I'm right around the corner, I absolutely was right around the corner. I sold 4 grams instead of point. Like I was doing.
You was a moral drug dealer.
I was right. I thought that was a thing, and then you go to prison and you find out that none of that is going to protect you. You have to be a little less moral to survive here. So the morality that we're discussing is non-carceral, and if he's in prison, we can feel how we feel, but that system is not designed for consideration, for empathy, for rehabilitation, for people's lives to mean anything. So look, a kid can get arrested for 3 breaking and enterings. No one was hurt, very little was taken, most of it was given back, and he may die in that prison. If it's relative, fuck Diddy, right? But it shouldn't be relative. This is a real quick tie-in to Marcellus Williams, right? Like, what is Marcellus Williams owed as a convicted felon who the family of the victim, the actual person who did it likely, who's now confessed, the prosecutor, and millions of people in this country believe didn't do it? What was he owed? And he's now literally, as we're starting this podcast, was killed.
Was executed. Yeah. Marcellus Williams, by the way, was on death row today, was denied clemency and
by everyone,
consideration.
By the governor, by Missouri State Supreme Court, and by the federal state court or the United States Supreme Court. And so, like, you hear all of that and like, yo, Marcellus Williams died, Khalifa Williams died. Not guilty. I am an abolitionist, and these are the ones that are hard for me to process because we're talking about someone who, from at least the late 90s until this year, got away with it.
Yeah.
The number of victims is at least in the dozens. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's in the dozens.
I would argue hundreds.
I would argue that it's an unknown amount and it's more than 10, right? I would also argue that whatever defense you're putting up for him, you're defending someone who is a known liar, right? Because when Cassie first of all, he said everything that Cassie said was a lie. Specifically, she said in 2016 that he beat the shit out of her in a hotel, hit her and drug her by her hair back to the hotel. That is flat out a lie, patently false. She's just trying to get money. Then the video came out and he was like, it was a dark time in my life. When? 2 weeks ago when you said that shit never happened? Or 8 years ago when you actually did it.
It was the pink cocaine.
Right. And then they find, right, when they come to get you, still got pink. The fuck are you still? So the problem that I have as an abolitionist is I understand that nothing that's going to happen to him in prison is going to improve in any substantial way the lives of his victims. I'm speaking as a person that if I was his victim, what I would want to have about 30 minutes alone in a room with the motherfucker and my hands. But that's not how our justice system works, because our justice system doesn't work. Anyway, the problem is I don't know that there's an answer that anybody can give that's not a victim that's a valid answer. Like, we have to give that answer from if it was me. Because fuck, he's done so much to so many. Like, what's the right answer? Like, Cassie got millions, but at some point he runs out of money. So if you are one of the last people to get into it and you don't get paid,
you know the issue
in prison, he can get his head run into the wall every day. So that's what's gonna happen for a while.
I was essentially, it sounds weird, but like I'm a '90s baby, so like literally I watched the rise and fall of Diddy my entire life.
Yeah.
91. So when that brother was dancing there in late '90s, when he started to do the Harlem Shake, look, and so for me to see all of that, to understand the magnitude of the amount of people he's hurt,
the number of black men who pattern their business lives after Sean Combs.
Dude, I don't even want to get.
Isn't Ciroc him too? That was
Ciroc is him.
That was
the
the situation.
Ciroc, Sean John, like the restaurants, the Jason's, like the number of things that he was involved in that previously hip hop had not touched.
Yeah.
He was a trailblazer, and this is one of the reasons that we struggle, I think, in the hip hop community in particular, but and also in the larger black community with our celebrities. Now, I think the celebrity worship is a big problem everywhere, but very specifically to us because we are very protective of black men. This is why Bill Cosby can get away with it for so long. This is why R. Kelly can get away with it for so long, and this is why Sean Combs, even right now, as he sits in jail with dozens of fucking complaints, with evidence mounting high as this fucking building, there are still people out there who are like, nah. And it's not just because they don't believe. They won't allow themselves to even consider it because he is their hero. Yeah. But, and that's a fucking problem.
Well, and so the reason I brought that up is because I wanted to talk about just how ingrained some things are, because the duration of his monster behavior is his entire career. So that whole time that I've been watching it, to your point, Monk, people have been protecting him, they've been lying for him, they've been covering up for him, but Diddy didn't make himself. Diddy did not make himself. And the issue that I'm hearing in the streets is, hey, for sure, Diddy is a different type of monster because he raped men, women, and children. You know, I've been feeling that way before this.
We talked about it.
I know that the reason even though I'm like, Monk, abolish prison, we can't have you in society because you hurt the people we're trying to protect.
You can't be, right.
I understand you are human, and the God that I serve created us all, and I understand all that, but I can't protect who I'm supposed to protect with you in society. So
what do we do with them?
We do not have the type of rehabilitation system, mostly because we don't have any rehabilitation.
Yeah. And also pedophilia and rape and these types. This is a crime of power. This also potentially could be. I want to be clear. I'm not giving him a disease, but some of the behavior lines up with what we know about narcissism, and what we know about narcissism is it can't be cured. And so then you have a situation where, we may actually have the perfect example of someone who is not fixable. How do we isolate that person without prison?
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, Monk, is he isolated with prison?
No,
because
unless you're gonna put him, unless you're gonna keep him,
unless he gets the Larry Hoover treatment.
I was gonna say,
and that's the thing.
Goes to our main story later.
But if you give him the Larry Hoover treatment, you have to have a reason that is beyond the charges that he already has. Mm-hmm. Larry Hoover is getting the Larry Hoover treatment because the accusations that occurred after he was in prison.
Yeah.
Right? Which, fuck y'all for whatever. But Larry Hoover didn't get the Larry Hoover treatment initially. He was in Gem Pop at some point. I don't know that you can put
at no point
Diddy in General Pop.
At no point.
But the Supreme Court has already ruled that just arbitrarily putting someone in isolation is cruel and unusual. So unless they can find a reason to not, And again, I need you to understand how hard this is for me to process because I don't believe anybody should be in prison. So I'm talking about how we can protect society from a person that we haven't protected society from.
Ever.
And I keep saying we when, you know, I ain't know the motherfucker was doing any of this. But let's be clear. There are rumors that we hear about people. We heard the rumor about Usher. We heard the rumor about Justin Bieber, but also I've heard rumors about myself that I know that aren't true.
For sure,
and I'm not nearly that level of celebrity. So if you'll make some shit up about me, I'm always hesitant to believe an unsubstantiated story about, but this many?
And
If 50 people said, Dave Hellum has a joke where he say, look, the 50th time I see you in Boys Town holding a guy's hand with a big Adam's apple, you suck dick. And that's fine. But the first time you told me you was just out here because they had great hot dogs. So you feel what I'm saying? Like at some point, the total number of times it's happened, preponderance of evidence, you did the shit, dog. You ain't accidentally possibly maybe fuck everybody that you ever worked with.
And to your exact point, Kyrie, about like it's spanned the course of his career, like a lot of men in comedy, I imagine that other women in comedy or even tangential to it could vouch for the fact that a lot of men in comedy have made suggestions my way, one way or the other, but then as they grew in their career, began to act right. Maybe got a little bit too like high on themselves, or didn't think they had the kind of way that they needed to behave, or maybe like I started to actually make moves, or I don't know entirely what the dynamic is, but I will forgive someone for, first of all, I mean, not doing the shit Diddy did, let me be clear, but like for making an advance that might have been perhaps unwanted.
Right.
If first of all, once you recognize that it's unwanted, you don't act any differently from there. Like if once you get the no, you don't get to treat me differently just because your ego's hurt.
Right.
And then most importantly, perhaps, if you continue to find ways to like redeem yourself and continue to act better and grow, because like I think my thing
apologizing and not being better, like people, okay, he didn't do it again, cool, but did he get better? I think when you've done bad, you have to do good.
Right.
You don't get to do bad and then just, all right, well, I don't do bad anymore. No, fuck you.
Right.
There's a debt. There's a debt to even to yourself, to your own conscience, to your own soul. And I tell people all the time, I'll never pay mine back. I sold enough drugs that I don't know what the amount of good I have to do is to offset that amount. What we know, what's been alleged, but what I will say, I'll stand on, I believe he did the shit. What we know of Diddy's case is if even half of this is true, I don't know how you reconcile that. I don't know how you.
Well, because
I'm
you
not even
never
talking
took
about
the opportunity
rehabilitation.
during, too,
Right.
is what I'm saying.
Right.
Like,
I'm not even talking about rehabilitation.
You know you're fucking up. Like what I will say, like we have this like whatever, you know, fun little colloquialism like fuck around and find out, when we usually enact it on each other. But the reality is like none of us finds out how bad something bad that we feel does not align with our values and like creates that like cognitive dissonance. We don't know how bad that feels until we do fuck around, like until we make the mistake, right? But once you do that and you have any kind of feeling about it, like do you change your behavior? Right. And I mean, this is a part that's like, is it Diddy? Is it the entertainment business, right? Like did he ever have that moment and then someone was like, nah man, it's okay,
you cool.
Right? Like it's all right. Like
and there is some of that, because there's a lot of conversation that we've heard now where people are like, well, I just thought that's what the entertainment is. I just thought that's what music was.
Question, Mark.
That happens a lot.
Have you ever heard about how Bad Boys came to be?
Yes. And so what's wild about that is that's an old story. And
I know it is, and that's why I asked you, because it happened on your coast.
But here's why it was weird, because when we were told that story originally, I remember saying, get the fuck out of here. And my reason for saying get the fuck out of here was because you couldn't convince me that Sean Combs at that point No. You could convince me that he would do something like that, because I had already heard stories about him being violent at Howard. This is not that's not new.
So
him being a piece of shit.
You was closer to it.
But what I thought was wild was, you mean to tell me that this former intern from a small rap label was able to get all of these big heads, these big wigs in a room, and get them to do shit that they wouldn't normally do? That was the part I struggled with, and I'm still not sure about it. But what I do know is, if you were in Harlem and connected in that era, there was enough drug money out there that you didn't have to go about that way. And we know, his father's history. I'm certain that there are multiple stories of how Bad Boy started, but the one that you're talking about is that he got a bunch of the heads of other labels together through a party just to get like a kind of meet and greet, and then got everybody fucked up, and that was like his first freak off, and he filmed it.
So the reason,
and blackmailed them into giving him money so that the videos never got out. And so allegedly the belief is that Clive Davis is now using his influence to get this prosecuted so that the tapes and the videos all go away and the names never come out. That's the story. But my thing is, Clive Davis has had this power forever. Why didn't he do that immediately?
Kyrie, go. Because he needed a buffer for times like this. Everybody knew that cancel culture was eventually going to come. And so they had to prepare themselves by getting the Diddy's and getting the Epsteins, because they knew that they needed managers for their freaky ass shit that they've been doing.
Perhaps. But I would like to point out that Clive Davis is currently 92 years old.
So I look him up.
If he went to jail right now, was he going to do 6 months? If they gave Clive Davis life today, he's going to do 6 months.
Monk, the issue, you hilarious. He might do, look.
He might do 12.
The reason I even brought all this up is because if someone is at the helm of creating a Diddy, creating a Bad Boy, because you would ask yourself, how does intern...
As I am at the helm of creating 2.
2 Bad Boys. That's what she meant. Not 2 Diddies.
Take that.
No.
Do
not.
Don't take that.
Oh, I meant
do
it.
not take it.
Okay. As bad as
Look.
possible.
Okay. So back to my point.
No.
The reason I bring this up is that Clive Davis is someone who's 92 years old. His span is longer than Diddy's, and because he, how do I say? I don't want to say he invented the Diddy, but the way that mysterious deaths like Kim Porter, like Biggie, like Pac are associated with the man, right? With Diddy. People like Whitney Houston, people like Prince, etc. People with real things like catalogs and estates at risk got into it with people like Clive Davis, and they're not around.
Now, here's what's wild about this, because I'm one of those, I don't believe any conspiracy theories. But the but has come about because of precisely because of Diddy type stories, right? Like these are, again, nothing that's come out in the last 6 months is something that I did not know or I had not heard 10 years ago. Not one thing, not a single solitary new piece of evidence has come out, unless it was something that happened it was some producer I didn't know, like the one producer that one kid got like I might not have known about that because I don't know who son is, or the dude in Detroit who got $100 million settlement from Diddy because Diddy refused to come to court. But like there's like those stories I might not have known because none of the people were famous except Diddy. But the Al B. Sure thing, when Al B. Sure got sick, I immediately was told by somebody at Diddy. The Kid Cudi car blowing up thing, I heard about that. When Ryan Leslie's laptop went missing.
When Kim Porter died.
When Kim Porter's autopsy, the guy who did the autopsy died. So my point is, I want to tell you, man, get the fuck out of here, you wildin'. But also, 10 years from now, Clive Davis could be dead, and his assistant is gonna write him things like, well, he killed Whitney. And he tried to kill Bobby, but Bobby was like, so he ended up killing Lil Bobby. He killed the wrong Bobby. You know what I mean? Like that. None of that.
Bobby Christina did that.
Bobby Christina, right? He killed Bobby Christina. He was trying to kill Bobby, but the murderer got the wrong name. He's got an I. We thought was supposed to be a Y. Anyway, yeah, I would be like, that's crazy.
So the reason I bring all of that up is that proves that there's a system where people like a Clive Davis or like a Sean Puffy Combs, but P. Diddy can exist, right? That system is still here. In 8 years, when Clive died, 8 years Diddy could be locked up. Does the same system that allowed them to be the monsters that they are, is it still in place? And the answer is yes.
Well, and the system that allegedly repairs hasn't done shit.
I mean, again, we're talking about men with huge power. I want to reel it back in. In this comedy community, people who run a show are doing maybe not Diddy level things, but they're taking advantage of new and up and coming comics.
I mean, I use the example that for myself,
right?
One person.
We're seeing that, and we're not even talking about people with tremendous amounts of power. We're talking about people who can get you 10 minutes on a Wednesday night show. So if that's happening in that level, it's not the system in the music industry.
Mm-hmm.
It is
social.
It is a social. This is how society is designed. And in fact, you've never heard why are they trying to tear a good woman down. But when you a man is accused of rape, and this isn't a racially. This has happened. I've seen it with Trump. They're trying to tear Trump down with all these sexual assault accusations. The man said, "I grabbed him by the pussy, son." It's not an accusation. They let you do it. Yeah, but they don't consent, and they let you is not the same thing. If I punch my son in the face, he let me punch him. He hit me back. Yeah, but he's fucking 8, son. He couldn't. He knew he couldn't win. He sat there. You have fight, flight, and freeze. He froze. Freeze doesn't mean I let you do it. Freeze means I didn't know what else to do in that moment. Yeah. This happened with Terry Crews. When Terry Crews got grabbed, and everybody's like, "Why you ain't knock him out?" Yo, if you never had your dick grabbed when you didn't want your dick grabbed by a grown man while you in the middle of a fucking party, you like, what do I do right now? Do I overhand slap this motherfucker? Fuck you, Terry Crews, for other stuff. But for real, in that moment, yeah, like what is he supposed?
Well, also, I don't agree with how we look at men when they victims, though, dog. Because if
Terry Crews was a woman, this would have been a different conversation.
Way different, bro. They tore that man down, and to your point,
but they
you do be wilding, Terry. Not on this,
but let's be clear. They tore him down, but they didn't disbelieve him. They believed him immediately. They said, "Yeah, that happened. Why didn't you beat his ass?"
But if Terry Crews was a woman, you victim blaming though. That shit crazy.
But if Terry Crews was a woman, they would have drug him through the mud and said, if Terry Crews was Terry with an I Crews, then they would have been like, "That bitch lying. She trying to get some money." So the question is, would you rather be believed and still belittled, or completely not believed at all? So either way, this idea that people who are assaulted should immediately go and tell someone.
That's
why?
Crazy. Yeah.
If the person that did it to you has any sort of power, the first thing that this society is going to do and has done historically and is still doing to this day is to question the validity of your claims, which is crazy to me because we all know sexual assault is real. So if it's real, why the fuck is nobody doing it? And why are we every time somebody says it happens, are we like, are you sure? Yes, bitch, it happens all the fucking time.
And Monk, the problem that I see is not even that they always react like that. It's only certain times. Socially, we have picked and choose.
It depends on
and
who
it's starting to motherfucking piss me the fuck off. You telling me that right now, if a 30-something-year-old man texts a 14-year-old in your family, that shit is creepy. But if he made Hotline Bling, it's okay. Man, go fuck yourself.
The crazy part was I knew immediately where he was going.
Get fucking pissed.
He cut a wrestling promo in the middle of the episode to go at Drake.
And it pisses me off.
I will defend that, dog. I defend that.
You know I hit you up personally like, yo, dude.
Because let's be real. Because let's be real, Hotline Bling was stolen. Shout out to Drum. That was like,
shout out
stole
to
that shit,
Drum,
man.
Dog,
that was terrible.
I'm sorry. I did get really Randy Macho Man.
He's like, ooh, because I'm getting heated now. I'll tell you this. If you don't know when your hotline blings, ooh, Elizabeth, ooh.
Y'all get as fired up about this as you want because I appreciate it.
Because but Monk, remember you was talking about in the comedy community? I have seen the comedy community turn their eye to certain people with accusations because they have 1 million followers. What? But then let it be somebody who's creepy and easier to box out because they're not as funny, they don't have as many followers, and they were already unfunny.
They will pile on. They will pile on.
They'll pile on, and then they make sure what? That person's not getting booked. That person, if they do get booked, they get side-eyed. Word? So is it selective?
And then they do this weird thing where they start,
of course it's selective.
oh, you're his friend. What do you have to say? Hey, I am not accused of anything. I didn't know the motherfucker was doing it. If I did, I would have backed the fuck away then. But now that I do, I'm backing the fuck away now. That happened to me with a Chicago comic that I wasn't even close with. That we had been on a couple of shows together. Like, and when I say close, like I would go out and have a drink with you. I will go out and have coffee with you. We can have a conversation offline, non-comedic. Let's have that discussion. Those are my, at the very least, acquaintances. If I will go somewhere not comedy related and hang out with you.
That would be close for me.
Right. Yeah. That's a friend to me. If we're doing that, that's my friend.
Low
and so
key.
anybody out there who's like,
second location with you.
Right. Second location is how the bodies get buried. That's why I don't usually do that. But also, this is a person who I'd only spoken to in context of comedy. We had done shows together. We had done stuff at Second City together. Then he got credibly accused of some shit. And I was like, yeah, fuck dude. And people were like, your friend did such and such. What do you think? I was like, my friend ain't do a motherfucking thing. I don't hang out with that dude. Well, right here, this is the two of you together at a comedy show, motherfucker. That's a coworker. That's a peer.
Yeah.
I can't be
Well, I mean,
responsible for
it
every
is
comic in
messy.
Chicago, and that's why. And so for the Chicago comics who don't know why I don't ever come outside, that's why, because y'all be messy as fuck, and I don't want to be in a picture with you weird motherfuckers. My bad. I'm sorry.
But it is messy.
If you're not
right?
weird,
Because
you
just
shouldn't be
like-
offended.
Because just like everyone is so excited to be like, where's the list of who's associated with Diddy? Who else can we like drag down?
Right.
Who else can we? And I'm not just saying that because like men will be involved, and they will be. And I'm not gonna lie, a little bit of me is like waiting for it
I
too.
want to see who it is.
Like we all have that sort of like worser, I don't know, reaction in us. And it's, I
It's
mean,
a little
even
macabre.
worse.
I want to see who, but you do want everyone who was involved in a real active way to have a light shined on them.
Right. Well,
now
and
you
kinda
don't want people who
justice.
were.
It's just like, what is, to the whole point of this conversation, what does that mean? Like, what is justice for those things, and who gets to define it other than victims?
The issue I have with it is because when it comes down to the Diddy parties and the Epstein jet list, it get real mum. If it's a Rico in the hood, let Monk get a Rico and he been sending me money. Nigga, they had my dough.
Wait.
I'm not. And
How'd I get
hypothetically,
the Rico?
hypothetically, I'm just saying.
Is this even wood? You keep
It's
not.
It look wood. Anyway, back to the point. My point is,
I don't
why,
have a Rico. I
when
didn't
it's
do
a-
anything Rico collect.
Why, when it's a freako and everybody getting freaky, you don't go through and check numbers and check.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest
black
with
law?
you. Nobody has said anything funny about this whole Diddy situation until you just called a Rico case a Freako
Pretty
case.
good. Pretty good.
That was actually
pretty good.
That was,
Pretty good.
like, don't build a bit around it, but that as a quick little tag. This son got a Freako charge. That's crazy.
Rico. TM.
But
Hit it.
y'all are ridiculous. But like, what about the rest of them? Like, what about everybody else?
Nah,
because if Diddy bad, what about the person that went to him and bought footage? What about the person who went to
What
him
about all
and
these
was like,
CEOs stepping down? I'm waiting for us to kind of get here. Convenient.
because when you rich, you don't go to jail, you just step down.
Yeah, you get the fuck out of the way.
That's the frustrating part, is with having all of these conversations about what does justice look like, and this is all theoretical, because no matter how we slice it, it won't be done. Like, the closest we have to justice is probably Cassie getting her $30 million, because
Damn,
at
that's
least
not right.
right. But that's what this country is, right? Because if I have $30 million to give, then I don't go to prison. And he wouldn't have gone to prison, except at some point they looked and they were like, I don't know if you got enough money to pay all these motherfuckers. Yeah, you got to come sit down, dog. When you get to that point, when you start going, we've got interstate trafficking, we got people, the number of people involved. If we were going to keep this quiet, the amount of money you would have to pay, I don't think you that liquid, dog.
And I'm glad you said that.
Because if they offered $50 million, if you offered the federal government $50 million in bail, not to beat the charges, not to fight off the charge, not to drop the charge, just $50 million for them to let you go home with an ankle bracelet on, with all of these different stipulations, and they like, nah. That suggests you've done some heinous shit. You've done some, like, Ice-T, and they need to come find
You got
something.
stable at the door?
Yeah, they say he had pink cocaine. A lot of people call that Hello Shitty, because when you take it, it make you come out your ass. The fuck is you talking about, Ice-T? I don't know, son. That's on me.
Do y'all think they're gonna let Larry Hoover out?
I hope they do.
I was going to say, we
don't
could
think
do
they are.
like even a quick prediction on this, and then maybe talk about it more next time. Larry Hoover, for people listening, that name doesn't ring a bell, for King Larry of the Gangster Disciples, the Chicago GDs, moved from
Growth and
Stateville,
Development.
Pontiac, was
Better known as
allegedly
Growth and
running
Development.
a ring from his various cells.
And let's be clear, he's been incarcerated my whole life, and I'm old. Like, there's you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he's been incarcerated since the early 70s. I was born in 72.
So his son and his lawyer are currently petitioning for that to stop being the case, because they are arguing that his political motivations in turning GDs into growth and development actually have supported the youth, and that people have learned from it. And the looks that I were getting earlier when I was bringing this agenda item up were, we're not going to talk about it.
Listen, that's cause Kyrie from out west, man.
Look, no, that's not why. He on fire.
No, he actually did have some insightful things to say, but I was just curious if we wanted to talk about it at all, and like maybe prediction. We can talk about it next week because it's tomorrow, his trial in Chicago.
I think we should talk about it after it happens because I don't think we could predict it.
It's not even prediction so much as just like bringing it up. Yeah. And if you had any,
I think everybody should come home. So my answer is always, I wish they would come home.
I think as long as you don't have 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube in your evidence locker,
we should at least consider letting you home.
Yeah, you should at least be up for some type.
And I thought
we did
talk briefly about too the article that I was reading was referencing G Herbo, who said he for the people that think he's still running something going on, he said very explicitly, he was like, you can't run 30. You can't control 20 people anymore. He's not controlling thousands. Like, this isn't the dynamic. This isn't the
it's not even
environment
that he can't
anymore.
Control. It's no one can control. So. The GDs aren't always as I think there's this picture in people's heads of the GDs as being this 50,000 strong organization that's controlled by one man, and that's just not really realistic in the way things run today.
Yeah.
And that's what G Herbo's effectively saying. Whether that's true or not, I can't speak to it. I know I can't control my 2 kids. So if he can control 30,000 people, shout out to him. He should be home for that. He should be home on the strength of, if he could control 30,000 Chicago children, bring him home and ask him to fucking help us stop the shooting.
Well, that's what he said that's what he said he's been doing. He said that the mayor was scared of him because he was getting these kids to vote and put the guns down and vote. So I just thought it was an interesting topic. We can talk about more and see kind of what
crime rates are down. Maybe that's why.
Crime rates.
I can't control myself in 7-Eleven when I'm high. This is bullshit, man.
Oh, man.
How you gonna say crime rates down and they stop coming to the house if you call for certain types of crimes?
Well, I'll tell you how, Kyrie. Crime rates are down amongst the people that they used to call criminals, but the crime rates are up amongst U.S. mayors. Fuck you, Eric Adams. I'm thinking about moving back to New York and making sure that I have residency just in time for you to get fucked over next. I hate you so much.
That's the little ball one,
That's
right?
the little ball. I'm Mayor Swag. I fucking hate you, dog.
He look like
I want you to see. I hope somebody send him this clip. At Mayor Eric Adams, you bitch ass. I hate everything about you. I hate what you stand for.
Your head.
And I promise you on everything. I'm not just saying this on the mic. I'll be there October 25th to do. If you want to come see me, I'll be in Brooklyn. Come through. It's nothing. I want that kind of smoke with you. You a bitch ass motherfucker, and I mean that with everything in my being. On my mama, I hate you.
He ain't lying though. You is her.
Timestamp that.
And your head look like it's made out of a helmet with skin on top of it. Your head ugly as hell. Wow. Like helmet head ass. Fuck wrong with you.
All right, well, we didn't.
It's a helmet with skin on it.
We have a couple more things. Obviously, we can get to next
Modoc
week.
looking motherfucker.
We'll come back to Larry Hoover. We'll come back to Kamala, Trump, everything
skin
going
helmet
on.
ass motherfucker.
And
pig skin face everybody. I'm Muslim. That's why I don't fuck with you. Pork face everybody.
Bacon head ass.
Bacon head everybody. Oh my mama, you ugly, but fuck out everybody.
I'm sorry. Thanks, Catherine, for keeping it so point.
Honestly, it's not.
Catherine, I like that
hard.
you just stopped. You were like,
yeah, I'll just wait.
That's what I do with my son when he start wild. I just be like, when you finish, I'll be here.
I am a woman in comedy. I know how.
This is when the teachers be tired of y'all talking. They just I got my degree.
Lady told me that one time in prison. She was like, I already got mine. I was like, that's fucked up. She was like, stop calling me a stank bitch. I was like, I didn't even call you that. He did.
I was laughing.
She was like, you laughed. I was like, it was funny.
Right, plug your shows, plug your promo. Let's get them the fuck out of here.
Please, Monk.
The matter of fact, perfect. This comes out next Tuesday. Next Thursday, I will be Thursday, October 3rd. I'll be at the Punchline Philly. October 25th, I'll be at 27 Main. I'll be at look on my internet, but it's going to be in Brooklyn. I'm doing a show with my man Philmon and Benium. It's going to be 3 Negus, Negus. Of comedy. It's going to be 2 Ethiopians in Eritrea, and we're going to be in Brooklyn doing that thing October 25th. December 3rd, I'll be at Tacoma Comedy Club. Please come out to December 3rd. It's really close to Seattle. It's 30 minutes away, I guess, is what they tell me. They say it smells a little bit, but that's not my business. And then December 27th, 28th, 29th, I make my annual trip, my pilgrimage to DC, Washington District of Columbia. It's going to be a party. You know my regulars who come every year, come back. And if you've never been, please show up. This is the wildest thing ever. It's a comedy celebration. It's a one-man comedy festival. 3 nights, 5 shows, nothing like – it's Mardi Gras in DC. Pull up. That's what I got.
That sound rocking.
Sound like it.
It sound popping. DC, y'all should get out there. If you see this, I would have already done my first festival in California. So shout out to We Own the Last.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a part of the Roast Battle and a couple of stand-up shows out there.
Pew, pew, pew,
Really
pew, pew.
dope. Don't know what to expect in Modesto. They told me Janky Promoters was made there, so I hope I get paid for real. And Monk just scared the shit out of me because I was asking him about payment stories.
You ever had a problem with getting paid? Yeah, I beat the shit out of that motherfucker.
I'm like, I just start cracking my knuckles. I'm like, nah. Shout out to the Lodge. So if you see this, it hasn't happened yet. October 18th, Ask a Comedian, one of the most innovative, craziest shows where the crowd literally is able to interact with you live with QR codes around the room anonymously. So they got the power.
Kinda.
Well, because they be feeling the way. They be like,
They was
so you're not going to answer my question.
They was flirting with me, and at some point they was like, yeah, no, that was me.
Yeah, I got a couple of those too.
All right, well.
Yes. So,
got a couple of
yeah,
those
if you're
too.
seeing this, come through for that.
What date?
October
18th. It
October
really is a
18th.
great show. I had a ball. I came
It is
super.
fun.
I came to it was amazing. We roasted the shit out of Kyrie though. It was his birthday. That's why.
No, I always get fried every episode, bro.
I didn't know that.
Well, I mean, because every day, like, I don't know what it is. It just makes the crowd and the comedians are like, yeah, let's just gang up on Kyrie. Like, it's like,
That's
he's there.
unnecessary.
Fuck him.
That's not cool.
Yeah, fuck y'all.
That's not cool. I hope you get the next. I hope you get the next diabetes commercial, buddy.
God damn it! Is that Christian laughing behind the mic?
That's me.
Plug your shit. Let's go. I don't need to stay here for this shit. This is turning into an escape room. What the fuck is this?
Sometimes you don't have to add a tag. Sometimes you can just laugh. Sometimes
Nobody knows
it's
this stuff. That's
done.
just for us. We know what it is.
Done.
I'm gonna put up
I'm
a
actually-
warning ad for a co-host. I hate y'all.
I'm headed to DC on Sunday.
Yes.
On Sunday, so I guess by the time I'm doing 808 Sunday, Monday, Don't Tell on Tuesday. So if you're on, you want to come out to Don't Tell Comedy on Tuesday, and then Wednesday just doing a spot on the show at the DC Improv, but it's sold out. So I guess
So
I
y'all
don't
can't
know.
come to that.
Can't come to that, and then I'm
Oops.
in San Diego after that at the La Jolla store. Don't Tell there through the weekend.
German for wheels vagina.
And I'm backing it out of Chicago.
San Diego is.
all the time.
Shout out to Ron Burgundy.
10, 5, and 6. I think I'm at Laugh Factory too. So I don't
10,
know.
5,
Find
and
us.
6 at the Laugh Factory. Come out, man. That's
Find
5 and 6. That's
us.
next Friday,
Also,
Saturday.
Friday,
Share
Saturday,
the
one
pod.
of them.
Send it
both
to
of them,
somebody
one of
that
them.
you
For
like,
Saturday.
and if you know somebody that run a company that want to help the community, send this pod to
If
them.
you
Tell
got
them
somebody
it's
that's
cool.
incarcerated, put it on their Facebook. They get Facebook Messenger, put it on their Facebook. We want to be the most watched podcast in prison.
Yes.
I take the most watched on my block. I think somebody. We happy.
I think you live on a block where 85 South is probably going to always beat us, bro. Shout out to
That
my
was
man.
really racial.
Shout
out to
That
Los.
was racial.
A little bit, but if we're being honest, I know where you're from.
I wanted to contest it, but I was like, it's not
It's like,
for me.
Hey, but at least he compared us to 85 South.
We'll take it.
Shout out to Los
shout out
Chico in
to
DC,
Tyler, all our AV production, Christian,
Tyler,
behind
you're the best.
also audio
Shout out
and the
to
Lincoln
Tyler.
Launch
You're amazing.
for always hosting us, letting us run the light.
and treating us so good and so special. Shout out to the Lodge. Come to shows for them.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
And they
Come
got a
to whatever they
festival
got going on.
called
Yes, Lincoln Launch has
the-
a comedy
the Future
festival
of Comedy.
next weekend. This weekend into next week though, right? Or is it just one
No, it's
weekend?
just this
Okay,
weekend.
we all are gonna miss it, but hopefully you find out your own way.
Well,
And maybe
because
we'll
you missed
clip it.
it, now you got to come to a show at the Lodge.
Yes, you got to come to Show at the Lodge, come to Kyrie's, come to any of ours. You know what I was thinking too? Let me just say this real quick, this because we need to talk about this on the way out. We need to do, I think, a real live recording here at the Lodge. We've done a fundraiser show at the start to kind of kick this off. Borky's excited. I think we need to do a recording show, stand-up combination. So stay tuned for that. If y'all actually do fuck with us, we'll put that together. Because
Come fuck with it.
we're intending to do a tour next year, so we'll see how quickly that comes.
Come fuck with us, cuz.
See how quickly that comes to be, but
Don't
Come
bring
to
this.
that.
Don't tell the people to bring this.
Don't bring the Zaza. Whatever
Yeah.
you do,
Definitely-
please don't bring backwoods and
Definitely
stuff
don't
like
bring,
that.
because that would sound like transporting, and we don't want to get you a transporting charge. So definitely don't bring.
Always love
I didn't know I had fans
Gaza.
far enough to transport. Nigga, hit the line.
And you know what's crazy about it? How legal it is. It's very legal for you to buy. It's very legal for you to smoke. But if you bring it with the intention of giving it to someone else,
As a donation?
you got to be careful. Like, you got to make sure that it's worded. Listen,
Yeah,
man.
you got to say donations and stuff.
Yeah.
Why don't you just refer us the people that will sponsor? How about that?
Do that. You know somebody got some money.
Yeah.
That ain't me. Because I got some money, but I don't have that kind of money.
Oh, my
No, we
God.
don't have that kind
I got a little bit of money. We need a lot of bit of money.
You
Yeah.
got McDonald's money?
I got McDonald's money. I've been telling my son, we have shiro at home. Like, I'm an old African dude for real now. You be like, Daddy, we have McDonald's. We got shiro at home. Do you have McDonald's money? You have beautiful McDonald's?
To McDonald's money and more.
It makes me whole